We have made the case that the President of the United States has been guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors. As the first article of impeachment charges, under his administration, no law-abiding citizen has been safe from arrest by soldiers. We have proven to you that he suspended habeas corpus, denying individuals their right to a speedy and fair trial. He suspended this cornerstone principle of our legal system, despite knowing that the weight of legal opinion was against him in locating that power in the Congress and not the President. He ignored the order of then Supreme Court Justice Taney to free Merriman from military custody to face his accusers in a duly constituted court of law, thus abrogating, not supporting, as he states, but abrogating the principle of checks and balances that characterizes our government. He conducted a blatant assault on the First Amendment's right to free speech by targeting newspaper editors, political leaders, and even preachers who disagreed with him. His soldiers trampled on the rights of not one, not two, not 50 individuals, but more than 13,000 persons, the majority of whom were let go without facing prosecution for any offense at all. This is an abominable and dangerous abuse of state power, a state power used to harass law-abiding citizens instead of protect them. He justified these actions by concocting in a public letter a theory of preventative arrests and preventative detentions that is so far outside of our Constitution that it's frightening. No one in our system of law should be arrested for not committing an offense. Our founders never intended for this kind of power to rest with one individual. As the second article of impeachment charges, he demonstrated a similar disregard for the law and the Constitution in his Emancipation Proclamation. As a practicing attorney and president, he maintained the protection of that property as a legal entity supported by the Constitution, yet he issued this proclamation that allows his soldiers to take away property based on the theory of military necessity. This theory is a sham. As he admitted himself, this term does not appear in the Constitution. It does not appear anywhere in the legal codes or the statutes. Worse yet, emancipation wasn't even really necessary for the Union to win very key military battles. And this unconstitutional policy has belied its stated purpose by actually impeding, not encouraging, an end to this war. You all know about the recent talks that went on in Canada for peace, and you all know that they fell apart because our president would not take emancipation off the bargaining table. Because of his proclamation, the war drags on at the cost of more and more of our sons, our fathers, our husbands, and our brothers. Now, we have to ask ourselves, what was his motivation behind this illegal and extra-constitutional policy?
The president's opposition wants you to overlook this essential truth. This president faced a crisis unlike any others any president has faced in the United States history. He confronted an internal rebellion as great as any the world has ever seen that not only threatened the legitimate authority of the federal government, but also threatened the very existence of the Republican system of government. President Lincoln did not run roughshod over the Constitution, civil liberties, and democracy. He did what he had to do to save the Union. The president has consistently and methodically placed himself within constitutional limitations. He respects it, he cites it often, and believes he is faithfully following. President Lincoln's accusers have confused political animosity with genuine crimes. Allow posterity to smile upon you and remember you when someday this great man will be remembered as a national hero, the greatest president our nation has ever produced.
Well, thank you both. Senators, the case is going to go to you shortly. You need to know several things. First, you know the charges. I'll go over them briefly and we'll vote on each one individually. And you need to know what your burden of proof is, what the burden of proof is, what degree of guilt has to be proven. Okay, the first charge is, did the president unconstitutionally declare martial law, suspend the writ of habeas corpus, and try civilians in military courts when civil courts were functioning? And let's have the yeas and the nays. Should the president be convicted of that charge? Raise your hand. You're not doing well, Counselor. Okay. And all who say the president should be acquitted of that charge? Okay, well, the requirement, of course, is 2/3 of the Senate has to vote for conviction. I haven't done a head count yet, but we had one hesitant vote for conviction, and the rest were for acquittal. So let's move to charge 2. You still have a chance. Did the president issue the Emancipation Proclamation, overstepping his power and violating his duty to protect property? All who are in favor of convicting the president on this charge, raise your hand. There may be other charges involved also. And all who would acquit the president on that charge, please raise your hand. Senators, thank you very much. Your official duty as senators is now complete.